for today's cup of coffee. I think I've had a relapse on the sick, not on the other side.
On the suds.
On the suds. And it's like, usually we try to make enough videos to get us through until Monday.
Yes.
Not this weekend. Not going to happen.
It's all right.
It'll be, yeah. I got the suds. Kids got the suds. His has not got to my level yet.
No. It's fine.
I thought I was doing so good. I really did. And then shit went sideways again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what our cup of coffee is about today, is shit going sideways.
Love that.
And it is the spirit of lawlessness. Because people's like, how does this have anything to do with paranormal, supernatural? It's like, pay attention.
Yeah.
We are in a spiritual war. And I will warn you, so the content of this can be disturbing for some people. You know, it's not
Very.
graphic, gory, anything like that, because I cut those parts out. Mm-hmm. References will be in the description box. So, because I just took highlights from these articles, because there's more than one.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, I could have had pages. Honest to God, I could have had pages.
Okay.
And like I said, I understand that fear sells. And you know, when you've got... Is there anybody that is still shocked by things?
I don't know.
I think that most people are so emotionally and mentally numb. You know, there are some people that they think that they have just... you know, got to where it's normal. It is not normal. You know, I think they just shut down after a period of time.
Maybe. I think so. It's almost like a numbing in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. And to a degree, I think it's a dissociation.
Yeah.
Because you just can only stomach so much.
Well, that's what a lot of people, in a way, are doing now, you know?
Yeah. Anyhow, this one...
A lot of people are in their own little worlds.
I can understand that. I really can. And this comes from Daily Star and was January 27th of 2023 and is by Ewan Gladow. I think that's close enough for jazz.
Yeah.
And it says, a man who made off with a funeral home van is wanted by police after a body was dumped out the back of it 100 miles away from the scene of the theft.
What?
And it could almost be a what the fuck file. Except that it goes on. And
Hold up.
says,
I need you to repeat that.
Well, it goes on and explains here in the body of this article.
Okay.
And it says, Dion Howard is being hunted by police and remains at large after stealing the hearse that housed the body of Curtis Brown, who was 47.
Okay.
Now, there's lots of bits in here that you really have to... You have to read this one 2 or 3 times, which I won't. And it says the 23-year-old is alleged to have dumped the dead man's naked body in the streets of Chicago.
Oh, my God.
With police discovering the body of Brown and the hearse separately.
That's... Okay.
Officers found the van and the body around 100 miles away from the funeral home. Okay, why was the body naked?
Why was the body 100 miles away from the funeral
Because
home?
dude that stole the van throwed it out.
Why? What was he doing?
Stealing.
Why was he
Because
stealing?
it meant nothing to him. And it says... all right,
he was doing something.
Wait. Let's unpack the rest of this. And the gentleman who was dead, this man's name was Brown, and remember, he was 47. He was the father of 12. And died suddenly...
Dude, give it a rest. Well, he gave it a rest.
Died suddenly of a heart attack last week. And his family have since spoken of their devastation at the way his body was dumped. And his mother, Cindy, had said, quote, "They found my baby. He was dumped in an alley butt naked. He had no clothes on," end quote.
God, that's horrible.
Yeah. I mean, that's his mom. It didn't matter if he was 47 years old or what. That was still her baby.
Yeah.
And Cindy also noted that she only found out that her deceased son was missing by finding out through local news reports.
What?
Yep. And, I've missed this part. It says that the New York Post reported that funeral home director Brandy Collins was recently fined $10,000 for unprofessional conduct.
Unprofessional conduct.
And as well as that charge was for a fine for failure to account for personal property and aiding and assisting unlicensed practice. So hell, that's a separate crime. And it says, my God, and it says while Collins is currently on probation until May of 2023, the family of Brown have since called for her business to be closed down following the theft of a body and a vehicle. Like I said, I want to know why the body was naked. Because usually when somebody dies, unless he was found naked, and even then, I don't
was
know.
found naked.
I don't, unless he was found naked, but I don't think that he was. Usually the only time a body is left naked is during the embalming process. So why the hell was it in the van naked? See, there's multiple crimes going on here
Yes.
in this one story.
Yes.
Then we have another one, and it comes from Daily Mail. Also from Chicago. Now, folks, if y'all are in or near Chicago, watch your back, watch your front, watch your sides.
Are y'all good over there?
No,
Y'all
they
seem to
ain't.
be self-destructing in a
ain't.
way.
And it says a 93-year-old woman was flung into the air and killed by a hit-and-run driver in broad daylight in crime-ridden Chicago on Thursday. The victim, who has not been identified, left behind a single silver snow boot on the side of the road as after she was struck by a silver Porsche around 12:20 p.m. So that's in the middle of the damn day.
Yeah.
And it says, as crime continues to surge in Chicago, reports of law breaking have increased by 12%. It did in 2022. Now remember, this is 2023, so I don't even know what the hell has happened. And January is not even finished.
We haven't even got... We just started.
And it says after being hit by the vehicle, the victim was taken to a nearby hospital where she later died. Well, 93 years old, they usually pretty damn frail. And this was a hit and run. The vehicle didn't even stop. Now, for somebody to be that callous...
Did she fly over or did she go under?
She became airborne. She became airborne. A little 93-year-old lady that somebody did not even have enough human decency. Not enough decency. And I think that's part of it, is that people are... There's no sanctity for life.
Yeah, that's horrible.
It is horrible.
I
understand that it's a matter of you trying to deal with the situation through humor. I do get that. And I don't want anyone out there to think that you're being callous.
Little old lady flying up in the air, just like a rag doll.
Yeah, and it's horrible.
Oh my God.
And like I said, kid is trying to wrap his head around this as best he can. Yeah. Now, what prompted... I already had those two stories. And then I was made aware of something that happened locally. Now, this is where the rant's probably going to come in. And from WSLS, there was a jailbreak at the Abingdon Regional Jail, where I was an officer for over 3 years.
Whoa.
And authorities had said that a 51-year-old, and that was Johnny Shane Brown of Rogersville, Tennessee, and 31-year-old Albert Lee Ricketson of Abingdon broke free from Southwest Virginia Regional Jail Authority at 2:45 p.m.
Oh my.
That's in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And they said that Ricketson is a federal inmate and has been convicted on double homicide.
Damn. Shit.
So feds had him down there to go to court.
Yeah.
And then it never did say what Brown was accused of, but he had previously escaped from Sullivan County, Tennessee jail. And two others that were with him that escaped in February of 2022, those two had died in a car chase in North Carolina.
Fun. Love that.
And Sheriff Blake Andis with Washington County, Virginia Sheriff's Office stated, quote, the regional jail let the inmates out into the rec yard. There were 9 inmates that were there, and one of those inmates ended up hitting the button, and 2 of those escaped, which was Ricketson and Brown, end quote. Now, that is a bullshit statement. Bullshit. Yes, I am escalated. I am escalated.
I'm not. I'm just staying back. This is
Because
I'm reeling back here. I'm letting you go.
Yeah, because I know how this shit was supposed to be done. Because our shift, we were by the book, policy, procedure.
You worked in this field, so you worked there.
That was the jail where I worked. Each night, you're required to do a rec check. Now, the rec yard, to explain this to people, it is an outside enclosure, chain link fence that's probably about 12 foot high, razor wire on top of that. Now, the chain link is supposed to go into the concrete or very close to the concrete. And that was the reason that you would go out and you would do a rec yard check, that you made sure that nobody had been bending the wire and there was no rusting, nothing like that, to make sure that everything was secure. You were supposed to go back in, you were supposed to log that, because your ass was responsible for all that.
Yeah.
Anytime you had inmates out there, there was an officer that was supposed to be present with the inmates in the rec yard. And then the other officer was supposed to do rounds and take care of whatever was going on in the pod as policy and procedure. All right, so with this, what the hell happened? Where was the officer?
Don't know.
Why were the inmates outside? Now, I do believe that this happened
Maybe they were
today,
in cahoots.
which was January 27th. Let me grab this right quick and see if it says. Because I didn't think about that until God's talking about it. You all get to have this stuff live.
Maybe there was a plan. I'm serious.
No, actually, it was originally posted on January the 26th. So that was the day previous. All right, it's been 30-some degrees.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine that many inmates wanting to go outside in 30-some degrees. And they don't have coats.
No.
They have T-shirts. They have the, jail uniforms, which are scrubs, basically.
Yeah.
And as far as somebody hitting the button, okay, there's an emergency button. Well, it's a button for to call the officers or something.
Yeah.
That's on the outside. Well, we had them on the inside too. It's just, for different emergencies and different reasons. So the statement almost made it seem like that whoever hit the button had distracted the people. More than likely, these idiots had escaped, and then the inmate hit the button because there was no officer to know that the inmates had escaped. This made national news, CNN, all that stuff. Somebody's ass. Now, these people need to be investigated.
Yeah.
From the officers that fucked up all the way up to the major. I don't know who the major is right now, but I know some of the other shit that went on in there. Yeah. And all these people squalling about police abuse and stuff like that and brutality. And I'm not bashing the cops at all. There are some really good cops out there.
But they need to be investigated.
But there are some really bad cops out there. Mm-hmm. They're doing all that on the outside. They need to do the same thing on the inside, because some of these people that's on the inside are being abused all to shit, especially the ones that are mentally ill. But going back to the jailbreak here, the update from January the 27th of 2023 at 6:38 p.m. and this is from WJHL. And the inmates were, arrested, and they were found hiding in the upstairs part of a barn on Cup Hollow Road in Rogersville, about 4 miles from where the stolen van they were traveling in, who writes this stuff, was found abandoned Friday morning in Bulls Gap, according to the sheriff's office. And they were taken into custody just after 5 p.m., according to the U.S. Marshals. Now, when you get the U.S. Marshals involved in anything, those are the big boys. Mm-hmm. Now, they ain't going to fuck around like these little local, deputy dog people.
No.
They're not. So they're going to be wanting to know what happened also.
Yeah.
And they were both arrested without incident, and federal authorities say the inmates had fled on foot after the stolen vehicle they were in ran out of gas. So it's not like these two had a plan.
No.
That could have been avoided.
Yeah.
But every bit of this is the spirit of lawlessness. That people, and what is lawlessness? It is a matter of not understanding what the law is, why the law is there, unwillingness to obey the law. Yeah. So if somebody had been doing their job, that could have been prevented. Mm-hmm. Now, the folks there in Chicago, and like I said, if we have somebody out there that does live in Chicago, please let us know.
Yeah.
Because we do pray for the people in these large urban areas. It's scary. I mean, we sit and we hear the news, read the news, whatever, and it's horrifying.
It's freaky as shit, man.
So we would like to hear from somebody that actually is experiencing different things. And I'm sure it's not all of Chicago, but when you've got a 12% increase in crime, that's going to impact everybody.
Yeah. It's not all of Chicago. It's just the ones who are doing the shit ruin the rest of them.
Yeah. I mean, a little 93-year-old lady.
Yeah.
93 years old.
Yeah.
But why was she by herself?
Probably didn't have anyone.
Exactly. But laws are there to... People don't understand this. Laws are there to protect you and others. I'm not saying...
We currently live with a government that is ruling us that does not abide by their own laws.
You're absolutely right.
So, if the government is not abiding by their own laws, so why should the people?
Because murder is still wrong.
Yes.
And that is where people... This is the frustration of the people right now.
But I'm saying, that's some of the people's mentality.
Well, there is God's law. And that's something that people don't take into account at all.
But there are the people who don't believe in God.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to believe in gravity for it to be. Jump off of a roof and see how far that gets you. Depending on the size of the height of the roof, it'll get you just that far.
Yeah.
But it is a matter that people have no respect. A lot of times they don't respect themselves. They don't respect other people. They are not seeing other humans as human. And that is highly disturbing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's everybody, but it's enough. There's enough of them to where it's impacting the rest.
Yes.
Because when you have that type of a demonic spirit, and you can feel it. I mean, you can be sitting safe wherever it is, and you can still feel that heaviness.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that respect for life, understanding the sanctity and the sacredness of life. And I've said many times, and I will continue to say it, that is one of the things that I appreciate greatly about Buddhism and some of the other Eastern belief systems.
Mm-hmm.
And the phrase namaste. The spark of God within me recognizes and honors the spark of God in you.
Yeah.
And that they do that with all living creatures.
Yeah.
If you ever go and watch the movie 7 Years in Tibet, they were building something. I don't know, it's been years since I've seen it. But they were building something, and the Buddhist monks, they were freaking out. And what it was, they were concerned that the earthworms would be harmed during the building process.
Mm-hmm.
So they sat there, and they had, with little trowels or whatever it was, and they dug every worm that they could possibly find and moved it to someplace else so that it would not be killed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that level of respect for other living beings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I had spoken with a lady, I think she was Hindu, several years back, and she said that even within their belief system, they were seeing people that were lawless, that they were not holding to the faith of their, religion.
Yeah.
It's scary. It is scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was like when I was made aware of the escaped whoever, and I thought, well, I got a 12 gauge. But they had headed down the other way. Bulls Gap is closer to Kentucky there. Now, again, it's been 30-some degrees today, and that's not counting wind chill. Apparently, they didn't understand that they needed to get other clothing, anything like that. They were, I don't know if they were in, Bob Barker flip-flops or what, but it was cold. It's cold. I'd say that by the time that they found them, their asses were so frozen that they were happy to go back.
And where'd they find them again?
I found them in a barn 4 miles from where they found the vehicle there in Rogersville, Tennessee. And that dude, that was his second escape. I don't know. Does that make him smarter than some of the other ones, or does that make him dumber because he got caught twice?
Dumber.
Oh.
Both.
But they never did say what his charges were, and I just wasn't willing to go forward and look his charges up. It said that both of them were considered armed and dangerous, but that's, I don't know whether they were dumb and dangerous.
Dumb and dangerous. They could probably punch you.
Well, I don't know. Dude's kind of stocky that had killed 2 people, but we don't know the circumstances on that either.
Yeah.
Yeah. But U.S. Marshals here in Abingdon.
Horrifying, huh?
No, not really, because like I said, there was shit that went on while I was there. Not on our shift. And God bless David Bowman, who was our lieutenant. Now, he is a quality human being. And from what I understand, most of the people that was on my shift, especially those that were higher up, aren't even in it anymore. Don't blame them.
Yeah.
Don't blame them at all. This is why, this type of idiocy is why people that would be good officers you know, either in the facilities or on the road or whatever. No, they don't. They don't want to fool with it anymore.
Yeah.
And especially the ones that do arrest people, and then for them to not be charged with something, or let them be bonded out for a little bit of nothing, just so that, you know, just long enough to where they can go out and hurt somebody else.
Yeah.
Now that's by design. There's an agenda behind this stuff.
Yeah.
So that's another demonic spirit. Final thoughts.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
How much fucked up is fucked up? That's fucked up.
Yeah.
On this episode of That's Fucked Up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Yeah. So everybody going through supernatural stuff right now, whether they recognize it or not, because it affects us all. If you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, oh, God help. I pray to God that you've not been a victim of some kind of spirit of lawlessness. You know, then send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. Again, the references will be there in the description box.
I had someone steal my Barbie iPod.
Well, that was a child who came from a very poor community. And
I don't care.
I know. And that was to explain to you that it didn't make the action right.
Oh, I didn't care then.
But it was just a matter of that is the why.
Yeah. I didn't care then.
But I think you were also urged to not take the item on the bus.
No.
Well, I know that anyhow. It was all right because you had the item replaced.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Oh, did I do the cup of coffee with scream@gmail.com? Did I do that already?
No.
Okay. You can email us cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. If I'm late responding to stuff, as reference, go back to this video and go, damn, she sounds like hell.
She got the suds.
Yeah, I got the suds again. I thought it was gone, but
Oh, jeez, Gary, I got the suds.
yeah, in the wee hours of the morning.
Don't expect me to do a SpongeBob voice.
In the wee hours of the morning, it came back with vengeance. Yeah.
Yeah. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all, and have a good.
Know that you're loved, and that
The leather.
we'll pray one for another, because
Yes.
that's what's going to get us all through.
Yes.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup. Bye.
Bye.